I was born into a Christian family, but would realize like there has to be more than just kind of Wednesday night and Sunday morning church. When I was about 16, I asked my parents, like, can I just start going on mission trips? So I've gone on a few now. It's about my fourth one. I'm in Mexico. And they're like, we're just gonna go house to house and tell people about the gospel. So I see this little old lady sitting in a chair, covered in flies. It just looked like she was at the end of her day. And my thought was, man, she seems so broken. Even if I don't know how to preach the gospel well, I should go tell her about Jesus. And I walk up to her and I'm like, do you know Jesus? And she looks right back at me with these piercing blue eyes and says, do you know Jesus? And in this moment, it was like this scene shifted in my life. This woman who has nothing, who's in poverty, who would have every reason to be offended at God, is sitting there in total joy. And I had this moment in my spirit where I said, I want to know that God. And that was the defining moment for me. I asked my parents if I could take a gap year and do missions because I went, I'm finding God on the mission field. So I go home, my parents are like, yeah, take a gap year. So I Google missions and I find YWAM. And that is literally how I got to YWAM. So I go to YWAM Kona, I've completed my DTS. Well, around the same time, God begins to speak to people in Kona about circuit riders. What are circuit riders? What's God saying? What's going on? And people started getting words about fiery-eyed evangelists crisscrossing our nation. And I'm going, whoa, God, you are doing something, and whatever it is, even if it's America, I just say yes. So we did School of the Circuit Riders, the first one in Kona in 2011. And it was a school that marked us. It was a stake in the ground that said there is another wave of missions coming to America and into the nations. It's not even about one nation, it's about every nation. And it was like, we got this moment of like, oh, this is so much bigger than one ministry. So now we're seeing this move of God on college campuses, and we're seeing another missions mobilization and knowing that even a greater one is on the horizon. But what people don't know is that this is where the album Every Nation came from. You know, we're singing these songs, every nation, every soul, Jesus, you're worth it all. It came out of moments where God would break in and we would get these revelations going, oh my goodness, there's another missions movement on the rise. We are in another missions movement. I'm telling you, we're about to enter into the greatest harvest we've ever seen. Now is the time to believe God is who He says He is. So our team is standing for this and believing for this. We're seeing this sound of faith, this sound of go, this sound of, oh man, God, for so long I've ignored these unreached people groups. But you talk about these unreached people groups in the Bible. You talk about going into the ends of the earth and proclaiming the good news. This isn't something I'm just making up to try to be a good Christian. This is about when you say, if you love me, you keep my commandments. And I don't want to pick and choose what commandments I want to keep. I want to run after you, God. And we're going, oh my goodness, God's raising up a generation that's going to bear the love of Jesus like we've never seen before, that's going to relate with the broken, that isn't just looking to do their own thing, but is looking to really seek and save the lost because we're in love with Jesus and we want to be like Him.